Hey guys, welcome back, and we're starting a fresh new chapter, that's electrostatic. Okay, little long but interesting also. So actually, a lot of things about this chapter already we have learned. At least half of that what we're learning here already we have learned in what your gravitation right now, the force, field, potential energy, field and this potential due to a solid sphere, hollow sphere, ring, many things due to point masses. That same thing we have learned in electricity, we have to apply here only. Okay, and few of them we have learned in what your magnetism topics also, right? Okay, so little long but it will be very easy because maximum of this already we have learned, just it will like a revision type of thing. Okay, let's start. So electrostatic, okay, electro means related to what, charge, like electron. Static means what, not moving, correct? So chapter name is what, here in this topic we will learning about properties of charges, and charges will not be moving, they will place at what, rest. Your electron, proton or any charge is placed at rest, then it will produce some property, it will have some properties that will talk. So in real total 6 properties we talk in this chapter. I can tell you what they are. We will talk like a charge is there, placed at rest, then what is the force experience between two charge or n number of charge. Okay, so we will talk about electric force. If force is there, obviously electric field will also come. So we will talk the electric field produced or experienced by some charge. Then electric field is there, then definitely electric potential also there, right? So we will talk what is the electric potential produced, then potential there, then obviously potential energy will also come. So we will talk about electric potential energy, and these are 4 topics. Then after that we will talk flux, like we have learned magnetic flux, same way electric flux. Okay, we'll talk, and last topic is little separate from this 5 topic, that's called what, your capacitance. Okay, so capacitance I will teach you is a separate topic, but all are linked with each other. Okay, so what I can do actually here, first let's start and write some basic properties of what, your charge. Okay, let me tell you what is this electrical charge. So what is this thing actually? Okay, let's talk about this. Electrical charge. What is charge? Charge again a property of what, your matter. Okay, and what is this property? Due to this property, what happens, that matter, okay, can experience some electrical field or force or magnetic field, right? Or it can produce also. So electric charge is a property due to which what happens, that body which has this charge can experience electric or magnetic field and force, or they can produce also, right? Both ways true, correct now? So I am writing in short, what is this? Is the property of matter due to which they can produce also, or they can experience also, right now? Electric correct now? Yes. So your charge can have what, electrical what, and your magnetic property, like already we have learned, right now? Yes, so I should not write like field, because just not only field, like I said 6 things we'll talk, like they can experience force, they can produce force, right now, potential energy. So proper word I should write like here what, you say electrical and magnetic, electric and what, magnetic effects. Okay, that will be your complete definition, right? So the property of matter due to which what happens, that matter either it will produce what, some electrical magnetic properties, okay, or effect you say, or it will experience also in the same way, right now? Okay, so let's basic things we'll talk about this. If I talk what type of quantity is this, is a, okay, property I will write separately. Let's talk units. Okay, what is unit? SI unit I talk first. Everybody know this is very common. You write in coulombs, right? Coulomb is what, your SI unit, right? We represent by a capital C symbol. Apart from that, you can write some other units also, like Faraday can write 1 Faraday, right? In chemistry we use this sometime, right? Faradays. Okay, what is Faradays? 96,500 watt coulombs, correct? Or CGS you need to want, right? Then you write what, 3 into 10 power 8. Okay, Somebody want to write what your CGS unit is called what? State coulomb. State coulomb. So what is the relation? Remember that 1 coulomb is equal to what? 3 into 10 power 8 what? State coulomb. SC I am writing, okay? Yes. Not much important, but it's also what your unit, okay? I think in state, this is state, that state, okay? Not this much only, state, okay? Coulomb. Okay, let's move on. Dimension and these things we'll talk, okay? Sometime unit you can write also in terms of current, because we have proper relation that current is what? Rate of flow of charge, right now? Recently we have learned. So charge is what? Current into time. So sometime you can also write what? Ampere into what? Time, right now? Like this, ampere per second, ampere second also you can write, okay? Yes. Okay, we will talk here some basic, okay, already everybody know that we have two type of charge, positive charge or negative charge. In real, look here, everybody or everything in this universe is what? Neutral. When we say that some body is positive charge, what happens? Some electrons are missing from there, the deficiency of the electron, then you can call it the body is what? Positively charged. Or somebody has excess of the electrons, then what you say what? Negatively charged. And we saying now like deficiency and this excess, these are what? Just free. In real, every body is what? Neutral, okay? Suppose a body has what? 10 protons and what? 10 electrons, okay? It's neutral. Now, suppose I say that 2 electrons are free to move there. Then it's become now what? Like electrically negatively charged, right? 2 electrons are free to move, okay? Or you say that positive charge are free to move, then it become what? Positively charged body. In total, the number of the positive charge and negative charge always equal. Some are bound and some are free to move. So free to move, that then we'll talk that who is positively charged, who is negatively charged, okay? Yes. Okay. So let's talk some basic properties of charge, okay? Properties of a charge. Small properties we'll talk. Simplest property is charge is scalar, right now? No vector rules. So charge is what? Scalar. If you want to add to charge, just plus minus sign, algebraically you have to add, no vector rules, okay? Charge is what? Scalar. Let's talk more property. Charge is always associated with what? Mass. When you're saying that somebody has what? Charge, it's definitely guaranteed that the body has also what? Mass. It means charge has what? Mass. Look here, if somebody's charge is there somewhere, definitely you can say there is mass also there, but somewhere mass is there, then you cannot say that whether charge also there or not, okay? Charge may be there, may not there. Okay, once more I think confused about this, so let me repeat it. You have a mass, matter, okay? Then it can have charge, it may not have charge, okay? But if you have charge, means definitely there is what? Mass. So charge is always associated with what? Your mass, okay? You have charge means there is guaranteed mass, or you have mass, then you cannot say that whether that has charge or has no charge, okay? It's not guaranteed, okay? Some more properties. Charge is quantized, right? You know meaning of this? Quantized means a packet, right? Charge always comes in multiple of something, that we call the charge of electron. So every charge on any body with that represents suppose Q symbol, then Q is always a multiple of what? Plus minus what? N into what? E. Charge is what? Quantized, comes in a fixed packets of some fixed amount. How much amount? Multiple of what? E always. Any charge you can write in multiple of what? E. N is that how many electrons you have, or a multiple of what? E into what? Charge of a single electron. Electron charge everybody knows, right? No need, right? So charge is always what? Quantized, okay? Correct. So charge is what? Your transferable, right now? You can transfer your charge. Yes, you can transfer charge from one body to what? Another body. You can transfer your charge, right now? Now look here. This charge does not depend on what? Velocity. Charge value remains what? Constant, does not depend velocity. What I'm trying to say actually here, remember Einstein's theory of relativity, when a body is in motion, then its mass, its dimension of the body and time all will change. They can increase or decrease, we have formulas we discussed. But if a body is moving or at rest, one body has supposed 10 coulomb of charge and is placed at rest, now that body started moving, okay, then the charge on that body will remain same only like 10 coulomb, charge will not vary. So charge does not vary with what? With what velocity. So I am writing here property, charge is invariant, means it does not depends on your speed of the body, okay. Yes, right, does not depends upon what? Velocity of that body, correct na? Charge is what? Invariant, okay. Charge is transferable, you can transfer from one body to other body, yes you can transfer. Charge is what? Invariant. Charge magnitude does not change with what? Your velocity. You have a body, a place at rest, it has some charge, and now that body started moving, still it will have same charge. Charge will not change, just like mass, time and this dimension of the body, they changes when body started moving with some little higher velocity as comparable to what? Speed of light, okay. So charge invariant. Now another property, this is very important and half of this already we have learned. We learned, remember, what is the principle of EMW, electromagnetic waves? Accelerating charges produces what? Electromagnetic wave. So when a charge you have and is accelerating, correct na? Then what will happen? It will produce what? Your EMWs, or say it will radiate what? Energy, correct na? So I am writing accelerating charges produces what? Or say radiate energy, right now? Radiates energy. If charge is accelerating, it will radiate what? Energy. Okay, let me explain this a little more, this concept. Suppose, recently we have learned in magnetism, suppose you have a charge and charge is at rest, okay. What's the meaning of this? Velocity 0 means I am trying to say that charge is at rest. You have a charge which is placed at rest, then what will happen? It will produce and experience only what? Your electric force, right now. If charge is placed at rest, experience only what? Electric, or it will produce electric field also you can say, or it will say that it will experience electric. Proper word I should say like that, it will produce only what? Electric field. Watch carefully, okay. Charge is placed at what? Rest, and then it will produce only what? Electric field, right? Oh, charge is moving but at constant velocity. You have a charge and it's moving but at what? Constant velocity, then it will produce both. Moving charge produces what? Your magnetic field also. So it will produce what? If charge start moving but at constant velocity, it will produce both what? Electric and magnetic field. Very, very important, okay. It will produce what? Both, correct now? Now charge is moving again but velocity is not constant, accelerating. In that case I told you, okay. V is there but is not equal to 0 but also not constant. Means charge is what? Accelerating. What I am trying to say here? Here charge is what? Accelerating. In this case what will happen? It will produce both again electric and magnetic field, but it will radiate what? Energy also. It will cause loss of what? Energy. Correct now? So here produces both E and B. It will produce electric and magnetic field plus what it will do? Also and radiates what? Energy. That's called your EMWs, right? Accelerating charges will produce what? Electromagnetic waves. Remember that property, all right? Okay. So it will produce both electric and magnetic field plus what happens? It will radiate your energy also, right now? So it's very important, correct? Okay. 3 cases I discussed, that if charge is placed rest, charge is moving or charge is accelerating, then what can happen, okay? Yes. Charge placed at rest, only electric field it will produce, correct? And it will experience also electric field only, okay? Charge moving but at constant speed, it will produce as both, it experiences both, okay? But If charge is moving and velocity is not constant, you call what? Charge your accelerating. Then this will happen, electric magnetic field are produced, but it will radiate what? Energy also. Okay, that's called your EMW simply. Okay, okay, so this is very very important about what? Your electric charge. Okay, okay. A small thing they can ask you that how to produce your charge. Okay, what are the method of charging, how to produce, how to charge your body. Okay, so just GK only I'm writing. So what I can write heading like methods of charging. One property I forgot here actually. I wrote this scalar is always associated with mass, quantized, what is transferable, is invariant, and charge, accelerating charge, radiated what? Energy. One more property says like this one. It's a very very important and I forgot that, so sorry for that. Let me write here. Charge is what? Conserved. Charge is what? Conserved in nature. Net charge on a body is always what? Constant. It always conserved. Or you can say another word that you cannot create or destroy charge. Right now, you cannot create charge. What you can do is you can just transfer charge from one body to another body. Right now, right? Okay. So what you can do? You cannot what? Create a new charge, or you cannot destroy the given charge. Okay. We can do is what? Only just transfer charge from one body to another body. So charge always what? Conserved. Okay, yes, net charge always remains constant, and I said net charge on a body, okay, is always what? Zero. So we say that somebody is positively charged means the number of like free hole or free positive charge is what? More. If body is negatively charged means number of the free electrons are what? More there. Okay, yes. So please note down that also. So method of charging we're talking is nothing is there. How we can produce charge on a body, how we can transfer charge to a body. The simplest method is what? Friction, right? You have learned these things in school, so it's not much important. Friction, yes, you rub two bodies together, okay, you can produce what? Charge easily, right? Or another method you can do by conduction also, right? Two bodies you connect by a wire, one body has high potential or high charge, you can transfer from the other body, right? Obviously simple. This thing is little important, that's called what? Induction. Here bodies are in contact, right? Friction and what? Conduction method, bodies are in contact. Here we can produce like charge without what? Contact. That's called induction, correct? So you have done in school also. I am teaching little bit about this. Okay, suppose you want to induce some charge on a body, what do you do? Okay, suppose this is a body which has like lot of positive charge, okay, yes, and another body is there, correct? Here we want to induce what? It has what? Equal charge, both, okay, neutral, let's say like this one. And here you want to produce only one type of charge, say negative or positive charge, anything you want to produce. Suppose you want to produce negative charge, then what do? You put this body close to this body, okay. Initially they are separate, okay. So you put close, then what will happen? This positively charged body of this, look here, this is a positive charge. When you put close to that body, induction will happen. Positive charge will try to attract negative charge on this side, and positive charge will repel toward other side, like that, okay. This charge goes separates, right? Negative charge goes that side due to attraction, positive charge. Now once you do it, what happens? Whatever charge you want here, you want negative, other charge sent to the what? Ground. Suppose you want negative here, you connect this to what? Ground. So all your positive charge goes toward ground. Now you take it body away, then the negative charge gets distributed over the complete body. So this became a now negatively charged body, right? Very simple method of induction. What's important here actually? Look here. Suppose these are identical bodies, okay? This charge on this body is what? Q. Then how much charge induced on this body? Let's call it Q days. That is Q days. Then they question a small numerical they can ask to us that what is the maximum charge we can induce on this body, okay? And we are assuming these two bodies are identical, made up from the same material and same size, okay? So I am writing induced charge, right now. So it's given by small relations called Q days is equal to Q 1 minus 1 by K. Look at this small formula. The induced charge, Q days is what? Your induced charge, right? Q is the charge on the other body, okay, is equal to what? Q into 1 minus 1 by K. K is called, we'll talk about this, called what? Dielectric constant. What is called? It's a constant about that body. What type of body is this? Made up of wood or metal, what? Okay. I can tell you these two, three values are popular for this. K. If you talk K for air, we say it 1. I will talk a little more about this, okay, when I talk force next topic. Then if you talk water, it becomes 81. If you have metal or wood conductor, then your K is what? Infinite. Correct? Yes. Suppose you have plastic, you can also write somewhere. You have plastic is around 4 to 6 something, okay. Yes. Suppose these bodies are made up of plastic. If the plastic body has some charge Q, then you want to induce charge on other body, right now? Then how much you can induce Q on that body? 1 minus 1 by K. You put the K value. So look here. Suppose you have metallic body. Both are metal sphere, right now? Then how much charge you can induce? K is infinite. 1 by infinite is what? 0. So full charge you can induce, right? Yes. This has 10 coulomb. You can induce what? 10 coulomb on the other body, right now? So small relation, this is a little important. K is called dielectric constant. What is this? I will talk in next topic, okay? Just right now remember it's a constant, okay? Yes. Okay. Okay, that's all. So these were basic things. Properties of charge, what is charge, okay? And this was important little. Then what method we have, okay? Nothing is there. So I told you 6 topics we have. What? Electric field, electric force, electric potential, potential energy, electric flux, and what? Capacitance, okay. So let's start the first topic of this chapter that we're writing heading here. Electric force. Yes, app symbol only we write, nothing is new, okay. Electric force. So electric force, everybody know that it was given by Coulomb's law, right? So I'm writing here also Coulomb's law, right? Coulomb's law gave the electric force or electrostatic force, okay. You can call proper word is actually electrostatic force because charges are not moving. And then what is the force between these two charges, okay. So electrostatic force, I'm just saying electric force only, okay. Yes, electrostatic force or electric force, do not confuse. So Coulomb says that you have two charges, right, and the charge can be both positive, both negative, or what, one positive, one negative, depends, okay. Yes, so you have two charges, you call them Q1, let's call both positive, okay, and Q2, placed at some distance r apart. Then they will apply a force on each other. Positive charge, similar charge repels each other, you know, right? That also a basic property here. If you want right here, you can register another property, property number 8. You know already this, so I don't discuss you. You know that similar charge repels, right, and dissimilar, right, attract each other, right? Correct. This is also the add property. You can add in what? Property of charge. So these are, suppose I say positive charge, so they will repel each other. This charge will apply force on this in this direction. That will also apply force in that direction, right? Equal and opposite, right? They both are repelling each other. So Coulomb said that the force between them is given by what? Is proportional to what? Product of the charge Q1, Q2. How much charge they have is proportional to what? Inversely square of the distance, right? Yes. So this is also called inverse square law. Gravitation also what? Inverse square law, right now. So exactly everything is same. The type of question also what? We have same here. Gravitational force was some difference between these two force. Gravitational force means there is only one direction, always what? Attractive force. But here can be attractive and repulsive. Otherwise everything remains same only, okay. The type of question they are also similar, okay. So when you put together and remove this proposal, we put a constant here. This constant everybody knows is called what? K Q1 by Q2 upon what? R square. That's the magnitude of the force between what? Two charges, right now. Just like the force between two what? Masses, you write constant, that's called capital G, then M1, M2 by what? R square. So that gravitational law, Newton's law also what? Inverse square law, and this Coulomb's law also what? Inverse square law, right now. Yes. This is scalar, and everybody know what is K here. Okay, you want to write in vector form, you can write in vector form. How you write? Just multiply unit vector, okay. Direction, it shows the direction of the force, okay. So F vector is nothing but you say K q1 q2 by r square and r unit vector. You want to put the value of r vector by magnitude r vector, also you can put your choice. You can also write like k q1 q2 by r vector cube into what r vector. So in same, just like gravitation also, in vector form the force varies inversely cube of the distance, right now in vector form. Same here also it varies. Okay, so what happens, let's talk about this k term. What is k? So k is called a constant, right? Not that k, this is actually small k we write, okay? And dielectric constant is big K. So 2k is coming, do not confuse, just k is your directly constant and k is called dielectric constant, okay? Okay, so this small k, this is what 9 into value, also know how much. For air we talk 4 pi epsilon naught, right? So it becomes what, 9 into 10 power what, 9, right? Unit you want, right? How was the unit? Look here, force distance by charge. So it becomes what, Newton meter square by Coulomb square, right? This is for air. Okay, so here epsilon naught, this is called permittivity of free space, right now. So value is what, 8.854 into 10 power what, minus 12. Unit you want, right? You can write. How unit will write? Look here, look at this formula. 2 4 pi is a number only, no unit. So these are just opposite, k and epsilon naught are just opposite, so unit becomes opposite of that, right? Yes. So what is unit here? You write Coulomb square per Newton per meter square, right? Opposite of that simply, okay? K. Okay. So we'll talk more about this epsilon naught, okay? Okay. Look here, this is a force. This is a force when you have placed two charges in what, air or free space you call, right? Vacuum air you can call, okay? So two charges are placed in air, the force between them is given by this formula where k is only known, this is much. This is, so this value will put constant here only when what, the charges are placed in air. By chance they ask question to us like this, two charges are placed inside some like water or any medium, right now. Two charges are placed inside kerosene, some water, any medium they are placed, then the force between them will change. Then force will not be this much directly, will not put that value because this will change. This is the permittivity of what, free space. If you are placed inside a medium, then what, this value will change, correct na? So let's talk about that, okay? So I'm writing here, what I'm writing, look, let's define first, okay, let's write, if charges are placed inside a medium, then force between them will change, correct na? Yes, it will not be same as like what is the force between them in when they are placed in air. So how much force will be acting, that we defined by term. So in this formula what you have to put, we have to put the permittivity of the medium we have to put. So permittivity of the medium is nothing but what, okay, we use a word is called relative permittivity by what, into what, permittivity of the free space, or you can call, okay, let me write this, I will talk this about separately because it's very important. So let me clean the board, so I will talk about this relative permittivity, it's very important for us, okay. Okay, so as I said, the force between two charges when they place inside air, you write like k, or let me put value of k, 4 pi epsilon naught, you say q1 q2 by what, r square. This is a force in what, air saying, or vacuum, or you say free space. So you're talking permittivity of the free space. Now these charges are placed inside a medium. Look here. Then what will be force in medium? Any medium, right? You write 1 by 4 pi E of the medium. Just we write this much symbol only to represent for medium. Okay. 4 pi and Q1 by Q2 R square. Now what happens? What happens? This term, the permittivity of any medium is always more than what? Free space, right? Because we use a term is called what? Either we call it relative permittivity or also called what? Dielectric constant. Two words we call, either called what? Relative permittivity or we call dielectric constant. Relativity you write like ER symbol, or you can write capital K also, that's called dielectric constant. So this is simply what? Permittivity of the medium by permittivity of the free space. Correct na? Permittivity of the medium, given medium, okay, by what? Free space. This ratio is called what? Your K. That's called dielectric constant, or you also called relative permittivity. That's what? Epsilon naught R, right now? Yeah. So look here. Now what is important here? Actually, if you watch carefully, look at this formula. You can define this thing in terms of force also. This is nothing but this by that. No, that by this, so that this goes up. Yes, correct. You can write what? F air by F in what? Medium. Very, very important. Watch it. The relative permittivity, or also called what? Dielectric constant. This dielectric constant word mainly will talk in what? Capacitance, okay? But here coming, so look here, these both are equal. First thing, both are same thing only, and what they are, either you can say in this term, okay, permittivity of the medium by permittivity of the free space, or force between two charges placed in air by force between the same two charges placed at the same distance inside a medium. This force ratio also called the same thing, right now. So remember always that, always what happens, force in air is what? Maximum. Force in air is always maximum. When you put any two charges inside a medium, force between them will be always reduced, correct now? Yes. So remember that if you want to write force between two charges in a medium, so force between two charges depends on medium also, right now? Medium is given by like F medium, right now, is equal to F air by, you can say relative, or you can say K, and we know that this K is always more than 1 for any medium. K is 1 for what? Your air. So your force inside medium is always less than what? Air. So when you put charges inside a medium, force is always reduced between them, okay? So inside medium, what happens? Force is always what? Reduced, correct na? Reduced by what? By K times dielectric constant times, okay? Yes. For example, like we know the dielectric constant for water is what? 81, okay? And you have salt. When salt is in air here, it's in solid form, right? When we put salt inside what? Water, it get dissolved, okay? Why it get dissolved? Look here. When you put salt, okay, we are talking about salt, or you call it NaCl. When you put this into what? Water, correct na? Water has K of what? 81 approximately, right now. So what happens? Suppose the electrostatic force between what? Na plus and your Na plus and what? Cl molecule in air is what? Some F is given, right? Now you put this inside water, then the force between the electrostatic force of attraction between Na plus and Cl minus is reduced by what? 81 times. The same NaCl putting then medium, the suppose water, that force between water is what? Force in air, whatever force of attraction they have, by what? 81. The force of attraction, chemistry explain this little different way. This is a physics way to explain this, that why water getting dissolved in what? Sorry, why NaCl getting dissolved in water, okay? When you putting NaCl salt in water, the Na plus and Cl ions, okay, the force of attraction between them, electrostatic attraction, is reduced by what? 81 times, so they get separated. Correct? Yes, the force of attraction is what? Reduced by what? 81 times. So that's your salt get dissolved. Correct? Okay. So it is little important. Focus it here. Okay. For medium, it will change. Force will change. Okay. Okay. Then we will talk small point about this force. What they can ask you in force, and all will be similar like we have done in gravitation. Okay. So look here. Here we call principle of superposition. Right now. Everybody know that this principle used when you have multiple objects, right now, multiple masses, multiple charges, right now. Same principle we have learned in what your gravitation also, that if multiple masses are there, then how you write the net force between them, right now. Exactly same way here also. If you have two charge, that's your answer. But if you have more than two charge, three charge, 100 charge, infinite charge, then how you write the net force. So force is a vector quantity. Any two force you want to add them, you have to use what? Vector rules, obviously, right now. So obviously if multiple charge are there, the net force will be what? Like vector sum of what? All individual forces, right now. Like this way you can write, right? No problem. Yes. And vector means how you add them, like you know that is f1 square plus f2 square plus 2 f1 f2 cos theta, right now. This is the way you have to add the net force. I will give example here, same question only what we have done there. So you can write sum of all forces, right now. That's what your net force. And what happens, look here, it's very important, like this property we did there also. The force between two mass is not affected by the third mass. Three mass are placed. Suppose initially two mass you have, they are having some force of 10 Newton between them. Now you put a third mass nearby them, then the force between these two guys, first two guys will not be affected, and another additional force coming, that's okay, but the force between the first two guys will not be affected. So how you say that the force between any two charges, okay, is not affected by other people which are sitting around them, right now. Okay. Okay, so net force you have to add by vector rules. Vector rule, you know how you add, right? Okay, now when you talk questions here numerically, two type of question they ask. One question they ask based on equilibrium system of the system. One they ask calculate the net force. Okay, like that. So let's talk first equilibrium of charges, right now. When you hear equilibrium word in physics, you can say that directly the net external force is what, 0. No external force acting on them, then you say system is what, in equilibrium, right? So when you hear equilibrium word means what, net force is what, directly 0. This is called what, your equilibrium, right? Yes. So they have asked, generally they ask question like this way, two charge will be placed, they said where I should put a third charge so that the net system is what, under equilibrium, means net force on any charge is what, 0. So we have to look at same question we have done in gravitation also, but there is only one possibility we have, but here we have two possibilities because charges can be positive, negative, similar or dissimilar, okay, depending upon them. So I write two cases. First case I write like similar charge you have, okay. Both are positive, both are negative. Suppose you have two charge, let's call them name Q1 placed here, positive, and another charge Q2 that also are positive, both negative, similar charge we are talking, correct. Then they will ask you where I should put the third charge, and distance between them, let's write something r, okay. Then they say where I should put a third charge, okay, so that the net force on the third charge is what, 0. And exactly same question they will ask for next topic also, what, electrostatic, electric field also, at what point the net field becomes 0, exactly same way to answer. So suppose first you try to understand that at what point the force will be 0, like you are putting a third charge here, any charge you put, suppose positive, negative, doesn't matter, suppose you put at this place, this is a positive charge, okay. Let's try to see direction, positive, positive, this guy will repel in what, that direction, right. Let's call that F1, force applied by charge Q1. This is positive, that's positive, this will repel in what, that direction, yes. So what I am trying to say that there will be some point between these two charges at which, at that point what happens, the net force will be 0, correct na? See, this will happen opposite next case, okay. First let me clear this, okay. So this is some point where you have placed some charge, you can put a negative charge also here, doesn't matter, negative, positive, okay, yes. So place a distance of what, let's say x from here, the first charge, okay. So they ask that at what distance I have to put a charge, they can give a charge value also, they can give a unit charge also, so that net force on this is what, 0, right? So what is the question I am writing, where we should put a third charge so that what happens, that net force on third charge is, they can say 0, or they can say this whole system is what, in equilibrium, okay, system is in what, equilibrium, right. They can say like this, okay. Let's write, they're saying the net force is 0 means obviously your F1 plus F2, these two should be what, 0, sum of these two forces should be what, 0, they should be equal and opposite in direction, right now. Okay, what is force F1, okay, okay. What is F1? What is this force between these two? You said K, Q1 and small q, correct, by the distance, that's called what, x square is equal to what, the force between these two, that's called what, K, Q2 into Q divided by distance r minus x square. Let's solve this term, that's your answer. So when you solve this, K goes, this Q goes, now you have to find what, your x. So how x come? That shortcut also should remember. So x come like that when x will be simply equal to what? Actually, if you want to calculate, you can calculate. There is no big problem. Directly, like k terms get cancelled, small q get cancelled. Just take root on both sides. You will get this answer. Root q1 by x is equal to what? Root q2 by r minus x. Cross multiply them and find x. That's all. So how x comes? X come like this one. Root of q1 divided by root of q1 plus root of q2 into what? Your r. This is what your x directly. So you can use directly this formula also, right? Two charges are given, similar charge, either both positive, both negative, okay? And place at some distance r, then where we should put a third charge from the first charge like q1, okay? This the x is from what? First charge, okay? So that this third charge is under equilibrium, or you say that they said net force on third charge is what? 0. Clear? So this is the answer. By chance they ask you the magnitude of this charge, that what is the value of this charge, you can also find. Then similar calculation you will do, just we have to replace here. Then how much answer comes? Q. It comes like minus q1 q2 by root of q1 plus root of q2 whole square. That will be your simply the answer, okay? So this is the what? Magnitude of the charge if they are asking by chance. Main question they ask an exam like this way only, okay? Yeah. Now look here, this is the case when two charges are similar, okay? If you have two dissimilar charges, then what will happen? Two dissimilar charge, then what happens now? What? Carefully, what will change? Suppose this have the plus q1 charge and other charges are negative minus q2. And place at what distance? They are placed at distance of r apart. Now where we should put the third charge? Theoretically also they can ask you sometime. Where we should put the third charge so that a net force on third charge becomes what? 0. Can it happen like you put charge between these two here? No. If you put a charge in this condition like one positive charge, q1 positive and q2 is negative, or this is negative, that's positive. Dissimilar charge, you put another charge here like any charge plus q. This charge will not be equilibrium, and if you put between them, why? Watch carefully. Positive will repel in this direction. Positive negative will attract in this direction. Net force is what? Only in one direction. So it cannot become 0, right now? Doesn't matter. This is positive, that is negative, or anything, or that is negative. Between these two charges, you cannot get any point where net force will be 0. So where you will get then equilibrium? Outside. You will get what? Outside. Either what on this side here or what this side. Suppose you put this charge, your third charge here at this point outside, okay, plus q. At what distance? Let's call that x. So you have put third charge here actually, okay, outside these two charges, right now? Yes. Then now look here. In this condition you will get what? Equilibrium, and answer will be same only. There is no change in answer, okay. How? What is force between these two guys? Both positive will repel in that direction, let's call it what? F1. Thus negative, thus positive will attract in that direction, that's what F2. Now two forces are in opposite direction, right? Here you cannot get in opposite direction, okay? Suppose you put that charge here also, you can get the equilibrium again. Look how that charge is placed here. And what is direction of force? Positive will repel it away like F1, negative will attract like that F2. Correct? That distance also you can call what? X only. Correct na? So here answer also, when we solve this exactly same answer coming, just write force equation like what is force F1 k q q1 by what? X square, right? What is force F2? Just what? This k q minus q2 and distance what? X plus r square. Simplify this again, same procedure, get again same answer. This case or that case, numerically answer is what? Same only, okay. Now what is important when writing this? Like here we have two possibilities right now. Like in this case, when similar charge, there is only one point, that's what your neutral point. There is only one place between these two where the net force is 0. But in this case, there are 2 points. It may be here or maybe here. So how is saying where it will be, here or here? So this the distance is saying x now. So what is the answer here? Very, very important. In this case, same formula, x is equal to root q1 by root q1 plus root q2 into what? R. So remember that this x is from what? Small charge in magnitude. This x is distance from where? You write very clearly, x is what? Distance from what? Smaller charge in magnitude. Suppose this is about 2 coulomb, this is about 10 coulomb. So we are talking just magnitude only, not plus minus. 2 coulomb, 10 coulomb, and then where will be equilibrium? Close to what? The smaller charge. So that x is what? Distance from the smaller charge, it will be what? Equilibrium. Okay. So it's very important. The distance x is from where? Is the distance from the smaller charge in magnitude. Okay, this is the equilibrium equations. Okay. Then apart from equilibrium, when you're talking electrostatic force, they can ask like net force on a charge. They can give like a triangular picture that 3 charges are placed at 3 corner, or a square, rectangle, something like that. Okay, any regular polygon. Then they ask net force. Let's see some example here. Suppose, so this is the rule, superposition, to find the net force on any if more than 2 charges are there, right? Okay, for example, I'm saying like this way, 3 identical charge Q are placed at the corners of a equilateral triangle. Find force on any one due to others. Okay, I wrote it very bad there, so I am reading it what I wrote there. I said that 3 identical charges, okay, are placed at the 3 corners of an equilateral triangle of some side L. Then you have to find force on any one due to what? Other charges. Okay, look here. This is equilateral triangle of side L or A something. Here I have placed plus Q, here I placed plus Q, here I placed plus Q. Let's call 1, 2, 3 some name. Okay. Then they are asking find force on any one charge due to what? Other charge. Any one you can pick. Suppose let's pick this charge. Then they are asking what is the net force on this charge due to the other 2 charge. So how you do? Superposition rule we write. How? Watch carefully. So they said first find individual force. First find force between these 2 charges like plus Q and plus Q. Okay, 1 and 3. They will repel in this direction. Let's call magnitude F13. Okay? This is a force. So what is F13 magnitude? K, Q and Q. You say Q square by distance between them equaling what? L square, equation 1. Right now we wrote direction here. So you first find individual force. Then what is the force between this and that charge? 2 and 3 charge that will repel in this direction away. That's called F23 vector, correct? So what is the magnitude of this? F23, same K Q square upon what? L square, right? These are the 2 force. Now individual force we have calculated, net force you want to calculate, so we have to add these 2 force by vector rule. That's the rule. So we know that this equilateral triangle means that angle is about 60 degree, all angles are 60 degree, right now. So that angle also what? 60 degree, right? Alternate angle, right? So that's your answer. You say that suppose you want to add net force, write this formula like F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 and what? Cos theta, right? This formula will write obviously. So this is a big value, you can call that x, then this also becomes what? Your x. That's all. So first you put like this way, your F1 means x square plus 2x square, right? And cos 60. What is cos 60? 1 by 2. So this is coming simply root 3 times of x. Means root 3 times of k q square by l square. That's a net force. So net force will be somewhere here, right? You can add these 2 by what? Vector rule, right? We got some force here. Done. Or this triangle equation was also asked like this way. They said 3 charges are placed like this way also. 3 charges are placed right here, plus q plus q plus q. Then they say if I put a third charge here, correct? Correct. Third charge is placed at the center. Then they ask that what is the net force on this charge? Correct. That's one question. Or they said what's the value of this charge so that the system is what? Under equilibrium, right now. So you can solve this same way. Like you have to find what is the force between these 2 charges. They are repulsive like that direction. Force between these 2 repulsive in that direction. Force between that is what? Repulsive like that direction. If they are asking net force on this charge, directly what? 0. So if you have like symmetrical picture and similar charge are placed, okay, all positive, all negative, same magnitude, then the net force on any charge placed at center is always 0. So write it, I am not writing here in words, you write it carefully. any symmetrical picture given like equilateral triangle given and similar charge are placed, right? Right, all positive value q q q, then net force on any charge placed at center is what? 0. Same you can have a square picture also. You have charge q q q placed here, and I'm asking what is net force on any charge placed at center. What is the answer? 0. Correct na? Very good. Okay, so here additional question they can ask is what is the value of q? What is the value of q required so that this is an equilibrium, okay, or net force 0? Then q becomes what? You can write like this way. Q will be what? Minus q times of root 3. You can simplify this. You try to simplify this, okay? It's very simple. Okay. I'm talking few more examples. Suppose similar question I give one more example. You have a square and 4 charges are placed around a square. Then they will ask you that what is charge on any other force or charge placed at the center. If similar charges are placed, then any charge placed at center, net force will be obviously 0. So I'm not writing words. You can also write like 4 charges are placed at the 4 corners of a square of side A. Right now, this is a square of side A, and some charges are placed here. Let's see some values. What charge? This is a plus q, or different value also possible. Now, suppose similar question like find a net force on any one charge due to what? Other 3 charge. Okay. Here 3 force will come. So I'm giving an example. Here 2 force you came. You added by the vector rules. Here 3 force will come. So let's see how you solve. So it's a square given of side A and 4 charges are placed at 4 corner. Let's give name also something. This is 1, and that's 2, that's what 3, and that's what your 4. Okay. Now first you always calculate what individual force is. Calculate force between charge 1 and 4. Both positive will repel in this direction. That's called F14. So what is F14 magnitude? K q1 q2 by what? A square. So k q square by what? K q square by what? A square. That's all. You call that value suppose x. And what is the force between these 2 charges? That's called what? Your 3 and 4. That will repel in this direction. That's called F34. What is the magnitude? Same only. F34 also. Why same? Because q and distance also what is. So this is also same force. We calling both x. Then calculate the force between 2 and 4. That force will in this direction. Positive repel. F and what? 2 4. So what is F24? Look here, this is different. K q square upon distance. That distance is what? Diagonal. Root 2 times of A, right? A and A, that becomes root 2 times A. And square of this becomes 2A square. That becomes simply x by 2. 3 force we have, individual force we have calculated. Now we want to add 3 force, right? All 3 together we cannot add because formula you have to add 2 force only. First you add any 2 force which is easier to you. Like this is easy to add what? This force and this force, right? So when you are adding F14 plus F34, right? What is the answer? A square B square plus 2AB cos theta. We are calling them x. Both are same, right? Na? This for this is same value. So x square plus 2x square and cos 90. Cos 90 means what? 0. This time is gone. What is the answer? Root 2 times of x is root 2 times. Okay, let's put this much only. Okay, this is the answer. Root 2 times x. You have added these 2 force, right? So sum of these two, because they are equal magnitude, same, some of them will become what? This direction only. This is direction of force. Okay. So here we have 2 force. One force is what? The F24. Another force coming. Sum of these two will coming here like F. We call something. Okay. We calling that F only. Okay. Correct. Now this force and this force. Sum of these two we wrote here F. We have calculated this much. Root 2x. F24 was this much. We want to add these two force. What is the angle between these two force now? 0 degree. Right now they are in same direction. So F vector plus F24, what is the angle between them? 0 degree. 0 degree means directly answer A plus B, because cos 0 means what is the answer? Just A plus B. I told you many times. So root 2x plus x by 2. That's your answer. So you can take x common. Then you say that this answer became like 2 root 2, correct? Plus 1 by what? 2. Correct only? X. That you can put at the end. X was what? This is the value of x. So you say net force is k q square upon a square, then what? 2 root 2 plus 1 by what? 2. Something like that you can say. Okay. Net direction will be here. Okay. So similar question you have done for what? Exactly similar question you can revise your what chapter? Gravitation chapter. Exactly same. Their force was only always one direction. Attractive force always. Here you have two possibilities, some attractive or repulsive. So you have to write directions carefully, calculate all individual forces, then add them by what? Vector rules, right? Okay. So this is what your first topic. called electrostatic. So electrostatic is what? Electric force. Okay. So in next lecture we will talk about electric field, and electric field and electric potential I will teach together, because basics of this already you have learned in what? Your gravitation. Exactly similar formula, there is no much difference. Okay, only symbols are changing, and here you have two possibilities. It could be positive or negative, like that, right? Now gravitation, there is only one possibility is always, right? No? So exactly similar formula, not much difference. Okay, so that's we done for today. That's all. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.